Okay, so try to imagine this. You're 5 years old, and your father works at Smithsonian. You live in Washington, D.C., and one day your dad comes home with a present for you because he hasn't seen you in a long time. So without ado, let's get into the story. My name's Benny, and I'm 5 years old. My father works at the Smithsonian. It's been a while since it happened, but I'm still traumatized by it. My father once came home with a stuffed teddy bear as a present, for he hasn't seen me in a while doing long night shifts, and I was asleep by the time he got back. It was a small teddy bear with a space costume on, of course. Smithsonian always has to do something with that. And after he gave it to me, I just brought it upstairs to introduce with all my other stuffed animals. That's what I always did when my dad brought me presents, because I never saw them much, so I always liked to carry and play with them the first day I got them. But, as you imagine, I was playing with it for a while before I was called down for dinner. At around 6-ish, I went to bed early because I was in preschool and I had school tomorrow. I had some kind of little kid test. I can't remember what it was, but I remember it being some kind of like little kid college test thing. So I had to go to sleep early. I put the teddy bear on a little wooden chair at the end of my room, because I thought teddy bears were alive then, and I wanted to like make them welcome, so I'd put them on my favorite wooden chair for the first night. That's when I went to bed. I was able to sleep for a while, but about 6:30 a.m., which isn't too early in the morning. I was going to wake up soon anyway. I woke up to a strange rustling sound. Looking up, I saw that the teddy bear had fallen off the chair. Not thinking anything of it, of course I was 5. I picked up the teddy bear and put it back onto the chair. That's when I realized something. It fell like 2 feet away. It wouldn't do that on its own. Or would it? That's when I started to get a little scared, and I hid under my covers for the rest of the night. I didn't notice anything else that night except for more strange rustling sounds. I never told my parents because they thought I was crazy already with a 5-year-old nightmare problem. So I went to that. I don't remember what happened on that test, but I remember doing okay and my parents coming home to see a happy face on my head. Well, face. And once I did that, I went to bed early. I don't know why. I was just somewhat excited to see the teddy bear even after what happened last night. But this night, I didn't put it on the chair. I plopped it into my bed and found a book on my bookshelf. Starting to read the book, I realized that the rustling hadn't happened at all. Getting a little confused in why the teddy bear wasn't making any noises. For some reason, I wasn't scared because, once again, I thought the stuffed animals were alive at the time. And my parents didn't have the heart to crush my dreams, or that so never told me until much later in my life. So that's when I started to play around. I was playing around with him until about 7:30 when I finally went to bed. Scared though, because, everyone's scared of the dark at some point in their life. I hugged the teddy bear and went back to sleep. I was able to sleep until about 5-ish. This isn't that early once again, but for a little kid like me at the time, it was early. I tried to go back to bed, but scared I'd hear a scary noise after watching a lot of scary shows with my dad. I covered my ears and plugged them, by letting go of the teddy bear. That's how I didn't notice that he was missing. Looking to my side after a little while of not sleeping, I wanted to go hug him again. But looking to the side, Mr. Space Teddy wasn't there. Starting to freak out, I went to Mom and Dad's room to go tell them. They said I could fall asleep in their room and they'd move me back once I'd fallen asleep. I agreed and fell asleep in about 10 minutes later. At about 6:30 though, I woke up again, not even half hour after I first woke up. That's when I started to hear that rustling again. Looking up, I saw somehow the teddy bear had gotten onto the chair, even though I had slept with him that night. I was starting to get scared, and the next morning I swore I was going to tell my dad I didn't want the teddy bear anymore. But I didn't have the heart to do so, because he worked all this time to buy me it. So I was kind of sad, and I still liked the teddy bear, so I thought to myself maybe Teddy was trying to play hide and seek. So I decided to keep him and play with him more. As I looked around for him, I knew he was on the chair, but after leaving the room, he wasn't there, which scared me, but once again, I wasn't too scared, because 5-year-olds don't know fear. So I was just walking around, having fun, trying to find him. When I checked under my bed, what I saw was kind of disturbing to my age. I saw the teddy bear, but he was in a disfigured pose, not something that a parent would purposely do to scare their child, or something that could happen naturally. The teddy bear's arm was covering its chest, while the other one was behind its back trying to hide something, supposedly. Now, by this point, I was extremely scared. I brought Teddy back up and put him under the blankets. Go to sleep, I told him. I'll be back later. And with that, I got ready for school. It was the next morning when I saw something different. As you can imagine, this kept going for a couple days. But on the 9th night of this, that's when it started to get scary. I was getting ready to go to sleep when all of a sudden I heard a noise. Something was rustling. It wasn't like the rustling I heard Teddy making before. This was like a violent rustling. Something coming from outside my door. Now I was getting really scared. Running from my parents' room, I realized before I opened the door, it was coming from right outside my door. I tried to find something to barricade my door, but with my little 5-year-old hands, I couldn't do much besides put that wooden chair up against the wall. That's really all I could do. All of a sudden, I looked behind me, hearing a creepy tune. It sounded like London Bridge, except it sounded distorted and creepy. Looking behind me, I saw him. He was standing right there, staring at me, with those little bead eyes they used to put on teddy bears. Now I was really scared. I was getting ready to scream my eyes out, and all of a sudden I realized something. Someone must have put him there. I didn't see any way that he could have moved himself, and by the time this happened, I was kind of not really believing teddy bears could move anymore, because by now it was a little past that age and I was already 6. I had him for less than a year, because it was just a 9th night, and I got him for my birthday as a present, as you already know. So this time I was really scared and tried to give myself some logical explanations, but no, I couldn't find any proof that someone put him there. How they had gotten into my room? There was no broken glass, the vent wasn't open, so how could have someone gotten in without me noticing? I was a light sleeper, so any little noise would have woken me up of any intruders. That's when I got really scared. I didn't care about the noise. I just opened the door, sprinted to my parents' room, and locked the door behind me. They asked me what was wrong, and I told them, please don't. And this is what I told them. Please don't think I'm insane. The teddy bear's moving on itself. I'm really scared. Please, can I sleep in your room? They replied with a yes, but looking at me like I was insane. I felt kind of bad that now they thought I was more insane than I already was. But still, I was relieved that I didn't have to spend another night. I haven't really seen much movement since then. The teddy bear stopped moving very often. Now it only moves from time to time, and still I'm scared of it. So yeah, I'm still scared of it. I'm hoping that will never happen to anyone else. I don't know how it did that or what happened. I'm just glad that it hopefully won't ever do that again.